One of the privileges of institutions of higher education is the authority to recognize individuals who, by virtue of their achievement, position, service, and contributions they've made to our culture, merit our public commendation. Monmouth University values this privilege and is exercising it today in tribute to a nationally renowned individual. Our honoree is an American film legend, a storyteller, an entertainer, and he's fresh from on-location shooting of a sequel to one of the highest-grossing films of our time, The Hunger Games, which just won 5 People's Choice Awards. We are honored to have such creativity among us today. It is my privilege now to ask Trustee Henry D. Mercer III, class of 1987, to present our honoree.
President Gaffney, it is my personal pleasure and honor to present Jon Kilik for the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa. Jon Kilik, talented, generous with your time, and loyal, a supporter of our coast, our state, and our university. New Jersey native and award-winning film producer, we are proud today to honor you. You contributed to Monmouth University's growth in the arts by premiering notable films at the Two River Film Festival hosted on this campus. We all benefit from the stories you bring to life because they focus on human values and issues. These narratives communicate human understanding and empathy across cultures and across generations. Your protagonists often demonstrate a triumph of human spirit, and these victories resonate particularly with our mission that champions education as a valuable means of personal development, both in and out of the classroom. Additionally, you have served as an advocate for the wider Monmouth County community by bringing Hollywood-style production values to promotions for Prevention First, a regional nonprofit organization committed to committed to keeping children safe and drug-free. You have won multiple awards and have received many Oscar nominations for your films such as Dead Man Walking and The Hunger Games, which are bold stories that reveal powerful human struggles. You have been honored as well for films that are equally evocative subject matter, like Babel and The Diving Bell and the Butterfly. Indeed, Spike Lee's masterpiece, Do the Right Thing, that you helped to develop and produce, is now included in the permanent film collection of the Smithsonian. For your extraordinary success as a film producer, for sharing your expertise with Monmouth's film students and patrons, and for your persistence in delivering films that allow the voices of humanity to be heard, we are privileged to present you with this honorary degree.
Jon Kilik, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the State of New Jersey, I now confer upon you the degree Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto, and I request that you deliver our commencement address.
Wow. Ooh, I pulled an all-nighter for this. Some things never change, except for Wikipedia and Google. This will not be political. It's about education, community, and values, and it's for you. It's also for your parents. You can never imagine just how proud they are until one day you'll be sitting in their seats, and it'll happen all too fast. So I'd like to thank Mr. Mercer, President Gaffney, Chairman Sculthorpe, Board of Trustees, members of the distinguished graduating class of 2013, parents, family members, friends of the class, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for inviting me to share this commencement with you. I'm honored to be here, and I'll always be thankful that I experienced this occasion with the outstanding graduating class of 2013. This is your day, you have achieved your goal, and now you're ready to begin a new chapter. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you safe travel on the journey ahead. It was right here in this area that my journey began. The Jersey Shore was interwoven in my memories of my childhood, my education, and my early film career. From Milburn to Wildwood, my New Jersey friends, family, and teachers helped to shape my dreams and my life. I will always remember that it was here in New Jersey where I found encouragement, self-confidence, and the lifelong friends who I still turn to today. I was about 6 years old when my mom drove my sister and me past Wilson Hall for the first time on our way to Lock Harbor Beach. We rode bikes without helmets, we drank water from a hose, and when we fell down, we simply got up. No one worried much about sympathy. TV was free, time with our dad was priceless, and summer was forever. It was 1962. And at the same time, while I was on the Lock Harbor Beach, President John F. Kennedy was addressing students at Rice University in Houston, Texas. The president told the students, quote, "We meet in an hour of change and challenge, in a decade of hope and fear, in an age of both knowledge and ignorance. The greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance unfolds." He went on to declare, "We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go in this decade and do other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard, because the goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills, because the challenge is one we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone." Those Rice University students could imagine that great dream, and those students were the ones who made that dream come true. One of them was a geology major named David McKay. Inspired by Kennedy's speech, McKay became a NASA scientist and trained Apollo astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin for the moon landing. As the world held its breath waiting to hear, McKay was part of the mission control team who received the first words from the moon, "The Eagle has landed." That Rice University student helped make the impossible possible. So what great declaration can I make that will inspire you to go out and change the world? What words of wisdom can I give to encourage you to go out and fix all of the problems that all of the generations before you have created? All I can do is talk a little about my journey and hope that it may somehow help you with yours. Today, you no longer have to go to the moon to find impossible problems to solve. In fact, if you want to change the world, we have plenty of big challenges right here, right around the corner. I was an average student with an interest in telling stories through film and photography. I was never able to find a way to do that in the classroom until I stumbled into a film class at the University of Vermont. One teacher was able to wake me up and encourage me to follow my dream. I am forever in his debt, and he reminds me of it often. After graduating from the University of Vermont, I moved to New York to begin what I hoped would be an exciting career in the movie business. Without a job, I called one of my grade school friends from New Jersey who was working and living in the city. I asked him if I could sleep on his couch. He told me he hadn't yet been able to purchase a couch, but if he had one, he would gladly let me sleep on it. We were walking down Columbus Avenue around 90th Street and found the ugliest little 4-foot plaid couch you've ever seen that someone had just left for the trash. It was my first bed in New York City. A few weeks later, I got my first job as a production assistant thanks to a University of Vermont alumni who was working in New York as an assistant director. So after 4 years of college and a few odd jobs, There I was, standing on the corner of Bleecker and McDougal Streets at 3 o'clock in the morning, asking the denizens of Greenwich Village to please cross to the other side of the street. We're making a movie. I could hear my poor mother's voice in my head saying, "It's not too late. You can still apply to grad school." Well, I hung in there and followed my heart, and 6 years later, I finally got to produce my first film titled The Beat. It was truly the lifelong break I had dreamed of, and I was ready to seize the moment. The movie opened at the Waverly Theater in New York, just a few blocks from where I worked that first day in the business. This is what the critics had to say. Quote, "Make no mistake, this story is preposterous. It is perfect for coffee-sipping, beret-wearing losers. Nothing can save this pathetic waste of film." There's more to the review, but that was the good part. The movie closed in 1 week. Needless to say, I've had to take a lot of criticism over the years and learned how to deal with failure. There's a Tibetan saying, even if you have failed at something 9 times, you have still given it effort 9 times. I think it's important to remember that and to have patience and optimism and determination. There are many obstacles that lie in our path as we weave our way through this complex, materialistic, technological society. So what can we do, and how can I advise you on how to live a happy and successful life and make the world a better place? First, know that success is defined in many ways. You will find yours, just as my sister Jane found hers. When we were growing up in New Jersey, my sister would work at a camp in Vermont for a couple of weeks each summer. She learned to be a good camper, and she loved it. She now lives in Rutland, Vermont, just a few miles from that camp on Lake Dunmore, far, far away from any Hollywood movie set. She teaches special needs children in the Rutland school system. Here is her resume as applied by Anna Quinlan's short guide to a happy life. Jane is a good mother to her 2 children, Otis and Rachel. She never lets her work stand in the way of being a good parent. She never considers herself the center of the universe. She is a good friend to her friends and a good friend to her husband. She makes her marriage vows mean what they say. She calls our parents often, and she always shows up for family holidays. She has a life, a real life, not a manic pursuit of the next promotion, the bigger paycheck, the larger house. She has a life in which she can enjoy beautiful sunsets over the green mountains of Vermont. She keeps her side of the street clean, and she knows how to live with others and respect them. She is a good camper. My sister learned from the examples set by our parents, grandparents, and teachers, who taught us without fanfare and without getting prizes for it. There are no Academy Awards for good parenting or good teaching. There should be. They simply do their job, never quit, never complain. As my grandmother said, a good name is rather to be had than riches. My parents and grandparents may not have gone out to change the world, but they certainly changed our world. I'm a filmmaker, and my work is describing the human experience. Movies put you in the shoes of other people. They can hold up a mirror and show us how we as a society are getting along with each other. Are we good campers? When we made Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee addressed this question brilliantly. He detailed what happens when people don't listen to each other, when they think their way is the only way. He showed us where arrogance and intolerance lead us. Yet at the time, many critics called Spike a racist and an anarchist. With The Hunger Games, Suzanne Collins has created not science fiction, but an allegory that reflects the world we live in. Obviously, the U.S. is not Panem, and high school is not the games, but the book taps into the powerlessness, frustration, and desire for freedom, change, justice, and meaning that many young people today feel. The dystopian society in The Hunger Games feels not so distant from the world and the possible future that young people today face. To survive, you have to be totally fake. Everyone's always watching you, scrutinizing you, but no one really cares who you are or how you feel. With farcical politics, a crumbling economy, and an increasingly soulless culture, many young people feel that those in power can't be trusted to protect their future or support their dreams. And just like Katniss, Gale, and Peeta, many young people today harbor hope that nonetheless they can fight to effect change and build the lives they deserve. Movies make the issues come alive. They get us to become emotionally involved in the experiences of others. One of the main values of art is to stimulate our imaginations and inspire us to reconsider just who we are and what we believe. We will never find the world perfect as it is. There is no utopia, but we can go beyond our personal desires and make life for us and for others better than it is now. We need free thinkers, and we need to protect them so that their voices and ideas are given a hearing on the world stage. We must never give up the principle of having a sense of commitment to our community, and there is no time when that commitment has been needed more than now. Our hearts go out to all those affected by Superstorm Sandy. We take action and we find a way to heal. America has always been about rebuilding and reimagining itself. America has always been able to do this because of its rich history of education. That is why Americans are so creative. We have always been able to adapt and reimagine ourselves. That imagination has never been more needed than for this current challenge. It's about working together and the strength of the community that you create around you. As big as the challenges are today, you are ready for them. You are better educated, more globally aware, and more socially conscious than any generation before you. And now it's time to use your energy and your skills. Stay in touch with each other and with this university. As your classmates grow in their fields, you will grow with them in yours. They are the ones to partner with. At the same time, don't let the world consume you. Don't lose sight of the beauty around you. Take time to smell the roses and give some roses. In college, learning how to get along with people in the dorms and the houses off campus was as important as anything I learned in the classroom. I learned how to be a good roommate and a good friend. My friends then are still my friends today, and if you are really, really lucky, these people around you today will be part of your life for the rest of your life. Finally, I just want to say we are a family, and this university is your surrogate home. Those alumni who came before you have established a great tradition of caring and encouraging. What teachers and alumni made possible for people like me, they offer now to you. Don't forget each other, don't be a stranger, come back here. And whether your passion brings you to an elementary school in Rutland, Vermont, a movie set in Hollywood, the next manned space mission to the moon, or making things better and safer right here at home, be a good camper. I have faith in you. Now go get 'em, Monmouth University class of 2013.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Jersey bred, Jersey fresh, Jon Kilik. Thank you for reminding us that there are possibilities within all of the impossibilities around us, and may the odds be ever in your favor.